everyone, it's Simon here for Elsa Communities, joined by Martha and Lucas, our community administrators, and by a bunch of amazing group leaders for this part two of our group leader summit on a different topic this week. Last week we talked about business and education. This time we're talking about relationships. In the first half of this summit, we talked about personal relationships, and it was a clear winner that emerged from this discussion: family relationships. Everyone suggested that, okay, their family is really at the heart of who they are as a person, and therefore family is the most important aspect of everyone's life in terms of relationship. Not many people talked about their partners. It was more about a family element, which is interesting to me. But anyway, our second half today is dedicated to a different type of relationship: working relationship. All right. So I guess I'm gonna just quickly, briefly reintroduce the people here. So we have Minh Thi Nguyen, we have Lan Nang Tien, we have Thomas Elias Tindin, we have Tintin, we have Lily, we have Judith Tyne, hello, we have Deepak, and we have Anas from Jordan, if I'm correct. So we've got our contributors, our amazing group leaders that are agreeing to spend some time every week with us to have a little discussion. So let's get back to our topic, shall we? To our topic of relationship, but now let's look at it through the lens of work. What does it mean, a working relationship? Let's ask our community manager, Lucas. For you, what does it mean, a working relationship with someone?
I mean that this could be like a relationship between a coworker. People usually working together, but on their work relationship. And I think we can nurture it to like make it go further. Not just like some guys meet at the office. We can do something to hang out after working and go for a drink, something like that.
Yeah, you've used a beautiful word here, which is nurture.
Yeah.
To nurture means to take care of, right? So if you nurture a relationship, it means that you invest time and energy in that relationship to make sure it is healthy, that everyone in that relationship is happy. Let's hear from our other community administrator, Martha. What are your thoughts on work relationships? Are you also in a nurturing mode like Lucas is?
From my end, I think that working relationship is more professional compared to like personal relationships, because when I hear the word work, I hear that you should be professional, you should be definitely formal. um I think that its goal is mainly to it's the same goal with like the company. So if you are, as Lucas have said, if you're nurturing your working relationship, it should be aligned as well to like what the company is trying to establish as well within a workplace setup. So yeah, that's for me.
All right. So, as far as Martha is concerned, there's a clearer division between work and, friendship, as one would call it. Lucas seems more open to the idea of developing a friendship with coworkers outside of work. But this can have some tricky implications sometimes. What if you become friends with the person that is above you in the hierarchy, and they then have to give you a review on your performance, right? This is a little bit tricky. Some people have start relationships with people that they have at work, and it conflicts with their personal relationships sometimes. So that all comes into play when we talk about work and play, or work and pleasure at the same time. All right, let's ask a few questions. Let's go to Judith. Hi, Judith. I think you just joined us at the end of the previous summit, and now you are here. So tell us about yourself a little bit, and tell us about your idea of what the perfect work relationship would look like. Do we have Judith Tyne or Tinny, or we don't really know? Okay, well, Judith, if you want to jump in or leave some comments, you can do that. And of course, you can take care of doing the assignment that we gave in the previous summit, which I'll remind you of at the end of today's session. Let's move on to asking Thomas. Thomas, what are your thoughts on working relationships? What should they look like? What should they feel like?
In my opinion, I think that when we work in the office, when we work in the workplace, working relationship play an important role in my career. And so you know that if we build a good relationship with the partner and co-workers and colleague and manager and boss, of course, in the working environment, we can have a good chance to become a higher position in the company. So you know that in order to build a good relationship in the working environment, it's not easy, you know, because the relationship between the people, employees in the company is very important for all the people. I think that if we would like to build a good relationship with the co-workers in its working environment, the first thing we should do, we usually respect the co-workers, respect the other people in the company. The second, we would like to have them as much as possible, and because if you have them when they get difficulties in their work, maybe when you have the difficulty in the work, the other workers can help you later. Yeah. And so it's some idea about building a good relationship in the working environment. Yeah.
It's interesting because you really see the working relationship from a standpoint of it's good to the benefit of the company, but also to the benefit of the worker themselves to be able to communicate more effectively with one another. You need to have some kind of a human relationship with your colleagues, right? We're not machines. And sometimes to smooth over a process, nothing beats a little bit of human communication. And this is why a lot of people struggled with COVID-19. I struggled a lot with COVID-19 because I'm a super social person, and now I'm alone in my apartment with my dog and my wife. I'm not alone, they're here and I love them so much, but there's less social contact now than there used to be before. So everyone has been changed a little bit by this COVID impact, and it has changed the way we interact with our colleagues. Let's go back to Lam Nan Tien. Do you want to tell us about your idea of the perfect working relationship and whether at some point we should allow ourselves to mix business and pleasure? All right, go for a drink with your colleagues, see your colleagues in a social circumstance outside of work. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I think beside family relationship, working relationship is very important because we spend like 8 hours a day in the office. So actually the place I am working for was started since 2014, but I just joined at the beginning of this year, so I have a lot of difficulties. But thanks to the good relationship with my colleagues, I get a lot of support from them, and I think that is why I think work relationship is also important. But yeah, we hang out like every week on the weekends. We go to the cinema, we go to coffee shop or restaurant, sometimes like that. But sometimes I'm not happy with one person in my office because she always asks me personal questions. She always make me like embarrassed. You have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, who is your boyfriend, who is your girlfriend? She keep asking me personal questions.
I see. Okay, so you've got someone in the office, Lam Nan Tien, that's actually trying to hit on you a little bit, right? Someone's like, "Oh, he's a good looking guy. Maybe we could get together." Look at that. The boundary is becoming blurrier by the minute between work and office relationships. And it's normal that you have, because as Tin said before, we spend 8 hours a day with these people. It's normal that these relationships evolve and become stronger. Now, another question that I have here is, do you think that the nature of a working relationship can also be influenced by the type of industry you're in? So let's say that you're in banking. You would have a different type of working relationships that if you were, for example, in the creative world, right? What are your thoughts about that? Maybe we could ask, oh, well, we have a new arrival, Liridona. Oh, Deepak needs to leave. Thank you for joining, Deepak, and looking forward to see you soon.
Yeah,
See you,
yeah,
Deepak.
definitely.
All right, cheers, mate. Let's ask Liridona. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe give us a sense of what industry you're in and what type of work relationship is expected between colleagues. Do we have Liridona? We don't. Let's ask Triminyen. What are your thoughts about that?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So the question is, do you think that work relationships are different depending on the industry that you're in? When I say industry, I mean someone can be in marketing and maybe there's a more relaxed approach to work relationships. If you're in finance, maybe it's more strict and you have more barriers to being together. Maybe not. Sometimes in finance, people that make a lot of money in finance, they party quite hard as well after work. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, maybe I couldn't agree with you more because in fact each jobs or each major it has different aspects, different properties, so they can't be the same for every job. So the environment as well. So they will be similar to the aspects of the specific properties of the jobs. So yeah, the working environment is also different. So maybe if you work in a really formal environment, you have to be polite, you have to be polite with customers, polite with your higher boss, your higher coworkers. And if you work in a more social environment, you can be more enjoyable, can be more interesting or funny like that. So I believe it is correct. It is true.
Okay. Now let's ask Tintin. Tell us about what type of industry you would like to work in the future. You talked about working as a flight attendant and working in communications. So you're maybe someone that will be in a more flexible environment for work relationships in the future. What is your opinion on that front?
I'm sorry, but it's literally raining so hard outside, so I cannot listen or you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay. So I hope it's okay. Is it because there's a hurricane or a typhoon out there or something?
No, it's just a bad weather.
Bad weather. All right. Well, do you want me to repeat the question? We can try that again. I'm saying, what type of work relationship would you like to have in your future career?
Well, maybe some open relationships and some, some friendly colleagues or something like that, because, I am not really good at, striking up a conversation with strangers, but I have to work in an, public area and have to, communicate with a lot of people. So I think I need to improve this thing for my future work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Great to ask. Let's move on to Lily. Lily, tell us about your thoughts on work and relationships at work. What should they look like? What should they be? How far can you go in being friends with someone you work with? Lily, your thoughts.
Yes, I totally agree with the ideas of Thiện. We spend 8 or more hours a day at the office, so our relationship with our colleagues, our co-worker is so important in our life. I think I myself in hospital industries, so I think teamwork is very important. Yes, we actually have a great teamwork in our company. I think by we want to be friendly, to be understand, and I want to try my best to contribute the relationship, and I think outside of working hour, we can be a close friend with my coworker. But in environment with in a company, the professional is needed. So
that's really interesting, because you're talking about working in healthcare, right? And often people become closer with one another when they go through a lot of experiences together. And in healthcare, I imagine that if you save someone's life together, or if you deliver a baby together, or if you support a person that is aging and at the end of their life together, these are all emotional experiences that will bond you with someone else, with a colleague, for example. So I'm not surprised that you're saying that you work in healthcare and that you have probably a closer relationship with your colleagues than maybe other industries. It's a really interesting take on this idea that when you have closer bonds with people because of the things that you do, it allows you to build a closer relationship. Anas, I'm interested in hearing about your thoughts on this, because if I remember correctly, you were in the army before. And I'm interested to know, what was it like to be in the army and build friendship with a group of guys that you stay with all the time? Guys, meaning men and women, of course. I don't know what the Jordanian army is doing on that front, but what's your thought on work relationships in the army?
Now, when we talk about the work, now we're talking about the professional relationship. That is not a friend, or it is not still. I need to categorize them as a stakeholder. What I can do with them, what they are seeking from me, what their interest, and I need to know what it is, a horizontal relationship or a vertical, upward and downward. Then we can assess what the relationship, what they're emotional about this. Is they are prepared emotionally, or they're thinking in rational way. They're thinking about evaluate the time and go with us as interdependence relationship, because if they are dependents, they will waste my time and waste other time. So
so you don't have a lot of time for this, right? You don't have a lot of time for for that. It's like, yeah, when I'm at work, I'm all business. Is that right, Anas?
No, not exactly, because sometimes it will be outside the work. Maybe there is friendship. It will be after the work sometimes. But if you talk professionally now, most of them going with the professional and formal way. Even if you are in managerial and you talking with the peer level.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good take on that. You're taking a more rational approach to it, and it's like, well, when I'm at work, I'm working, so I don't want to be distracted. I want to be efficient. Tintin is going. Thank you, Tintin. Thank you for coming. Great job today. Fantastic. So when you're at work, and you want to carefully select the relationships that you decide to develop with work colleagues. Guys, we've had 2 big summit sessions here, and I think it's time for us to close this second part of the summit today. I know it's late for some of you guys in Vietnam, and it's Friday, and you want to go check out your friends and potentially benefit from the relationships that you all have in your life a little bit more on a Friday night. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to remind you that you have a task to complete for next week, and it is a filmed video homework where I would like you to tell us about your best friend and why she or he is important to you. All right. So let's make sure that most of you guys and everyone in the learning groups send their homework videos so that we can spread them around, populate them, share some ideas with everyone in the community groups. It's been a really, really interesting summit for the 2 parts, talking about different types of relationships. Lucas, what are your thoughts on today's conversation?
Yeah, honestly, I'm so glad that after a long week we can spend some time together to chat and discuss and develop our English speaking ability. So I believe that today we have learned a lot of interesting things about relationship, about personal, about work relationship. So I hope you guys can complete the homework and I can see more your video. Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to see those videos. Martha, do you have any final thoughts for us on today's sessions?
Yes, definitely. I'm on the same page as Lucas. I'm very much excited for all of the videos, including the ones which are from our audience on YouTube Live. So I'm hoping that someone from our audience here on YouTube would send in their videos, and then maybe we can watch it on the next summit, right?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I can't wait to see what everyone comes up with. Hopefully we'll receive more videos next time. All right. As a side note, for those of you who don't have the ELSA app already, the community is a great space to practice. The learning groups are a great space to practice, but I would highly recommend that you get the ELSA app to start practicing your pronunciation, your clarity in speech, all right? This is really like the perfect accompaniment tool to help you improve on everyday conversational skills in English. So for those of you who don't have the app yet, come on, install it. You have some free lessons every day, and you can get either a monthly subscription or go all the way to a premium subscription that gives you access to absolutely everything. Loads of content on exam preparation, on work, on relationships, on families, on activities, on hobbies. So install ELSA Speak, guys. This is the tool to help you get to the next level in your control of English. All right. So let's wrap this up for today. We had an amazing summit to talk about relationships. So from Martha, Lucas, and myself, and from all the group leaders that have attended these summits today, this is Simon for ELSA Communities. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you very soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Goodbye, guys. Thank you.
there's a lot of good knowledge from the working environment and relationship.